Alright, so today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. On Clock Encore, we're going to be showing an exhibition game between two trial decks. The Gochuumon wa Usagi trial deck I have right here, and his Danganronpa trial deck. And celebrates the announcement of Infinite Stratos. I have my Infinite Stratos deck box over here.
We should also probably specify this will be ChaOS and not by Schwartz today.
Yes, this is going to be a ChaOS match. It is not going to be by Schwartz. Now, because there is no actual tutorial in English out there, this will also serve as a pseudo-tutorial where we explain basic aspects of the game as we play, but we're not going to go into a lot of detail due to time constraints. So if you have any specific questions, I recommend asking in the comments and we'll do our best to answer them. So we have our deck here, and we have our extra deck over here. The extra deck essentially functions as the extra deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! The deck is 49 cards, with your partner being the 50th card. Everyone has to pick a partner that they play with at the beginning of the game. The partner is always on playing board. We'll go into more detail about that as we play. Before we start, the partner should actually be face down, and then we both draw 5 cards.
We've already shuffled and cut and done all of that for the sake of saving time as well.
Now at this point, we can choose to mulligan. The way mulligans work in ChaOS is that if you decide to mulligan, you have to mulligan your entire hand. You can only mulligan once, and it gets shuffled back into deck. It does not get put into waiting room, unlike by Schwartz. So let's look at our hand. My hand kind of sucks, actually.
Yeah, no, this is pretty bad. This is getting snap mulled.
So I'm mulligan.
So congratulations, lucky viewers, you get to look at a shuffle in spite of our best efforts to ensure that this would not happen.
There's no tutoring in this game though, so after this there will not be any more shuffling. We should decide who's going first. You can go first. No, actually no, I'll go first. Yeah, I'll explain everything.
That works, I think.
The person who goes first is not allowed to attack for a turn. They are allowed to draw though.
Also important to note, now that we've both chosen to mulligan, whatever we draw we have to keep.
So, I'll just go ahead and start the game.
Alright.
I draw for turn, draw 1 card for a turn. Then, if you have any cards that are rested on the board, you untap them, 90 degrees. And that's it. Now we go directly into main phase. In main phase, there's a couple things you can do. You can play 1 friend on the board at a time. You're only allowed 1 named friend on the board at any given time. So let's say, for example, I have Cocoa, and she's my friend. If I were to play a second Cocoa, I have to play over my first Cocoa. Even if this is face down, I'll talk about face down in a minute, but even if it's face down, I have to play over it. A very different rule from Vice. You can only play 1 friend at a time per turn. You can make 1 extra character per turn. You can level up once per turn. And there are, generally speaking, no exceptions to this. There is something called Trespass, which is kind of like a special summon mechanic, but I don't think that's going to be relevant in this game, so I'm not going to be talking about it. Any events that say main on them, you could play them during this turn. If it says battle, you cannot activate it during the main phase. You can also play any sets, which kind of serve as like your equips from Yu-Gi-Oh! Events basically serve as your spells from Yu-Gi-Oh! Specifically like quick play spells. We'll get more into that later on. For now, I will see if I want to play a character.
Spoiler alert, it's probably good if you can play a character this turn.
Oh, this is actually not... This is kind of crappy, but whatever. Oh, you know what I can do? Oh, actually... so let me explain what my partner does. My partner is Coco. So, while she's on the board, as long as I have a set on this character, she gains Penetrate. Penetrate is like Trample in Yu-Gi-Oh! And everything else.
Yeah.
Also, she has another effect that's just relevant to the partner. I know it's relevant just to the partner because it's in red text and it says partner. At the beginning of my main phase, I can draw a card. It activates even while it's face down. I forgot to do that, so I'm going to do that now. Okay, so you can also explain what your partner is.
I'm playing Makoto. He's in the trial deck. He's not the official partner, but he has abilities that still synergize well as a partner. Basically, as the partner, what happens is whenever you set or play a set card on one of your Danganronpa characters, you get to draw a card. And also, as a battle ability, I can send a set from the arena to the waiting room. And if I do that, I can give a Danganronpa character of my choice +3 attack and +3 defense until the end of the turn.
Alright, so let's talk about the attack and defense for a little bit. So, if your character is a friend, the only thing you care about is attack and defense. You do not care about these little bubbles that are under attack and defense. However, if your character is an extra character, or you have a partner, you care about those little bubbles. Those bubbles serve as modifiers, and they're active even at level 1. So my character is not a 4/4, it's actually a 6/6 right now.
And the same goes for Makoto here.
Conversely, when I level up, and I'll talk about the level up mechanic when we get to it, it'll go up by 2/2, so it'll be 8/8. But we'll talk about that when we get to it. In the meantime, let me play out my turn. So I'm going to, what is this thing? No, I don't want that. I want this. I'm going to play this set. This set has no cost, and when I put it under my character like this, I can activate its ability, which is to draw her. It also gives it a +1 modifier, as you notice here, so my character is actually a 7/6.
And as you can see by the way the cards stack like that, it's very easy to determine how big your character is at any moment. You just basically count the bubbles going down on either side.
Correct. Also, while we're talking about sets, you can only play one set at a time on any given character unless the set or the character says otherwise.
That will be relevant in my trial deck, which has several cards that allow you to set multiple sets onto a single character.
So just keep that in mind. If you play another set on a character that already has a set on it and it does not have that stipulation, you have to play over the set, so it gets sent to the waiting.
The original set, that is.
Yes. Now, does that change my play for the turn? No, it does not. I still have crap. So, I have to play Shadow as my friend. When she comes into play, well, essentially when she comes into play. When she comes into play, I can target a character and do 3 damage. Not that it's going to be relevant this turn, but I'll do 3 damage to Makoto.
Now what that means is that Makoto has 6 attack and 6 defense, so right now he has 6 attack and 3 defense.
Right. You can actually think of defense as kind of like your toughness from Magic. It essentially functions the exact same way. Another way of thinking about that, if you're not familiar with Magic, is that you can think of it as your hit points. So he has 3 hit points left. At the end of the turn, you automatically recover all your hit points. There's also another way you can recover all your hit points, but we'll talk about that when we get to it.
Yep.
Her other effect is that after I do the burn, then I control her. And, oh, that's actually kind of interesting. So, do I want to do that? I actually don't think I want to do that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Since I cannot attack for the turn, I'm just going to pass.
And it should be noted, maximum hand size in this game is 7. If you have more than 7 at the end of your turn, you'll have to discard.
Right, but that only applies on your turn.
Yes, so if it was his turn right now and I had 8 cards in hand, that would be fine. So now I'm going to start taking my turn. I'm going to draw. And now I'm going to enter my main phase, and I will also play a character. I will play Celeste. Now, Celeste has as a main phase ability, I can put her from face up, stand to rest, and by doing that I get to look at the top 2 cards of my library. That's funny, kind of, I guess. Now I can put them back on top in any order, and then I can draw 1 card.
If you're familiar with Magic, that's scrying, basically. Well, except for draw.
Alright, so now that I've done that, this is the first turn in the game in which one of us can consider an attack. Now, my character is 6/6. His character currently is 7/6. Which, ordinarily, that means that in theory both characters will die pending any combat tricks. However, One of the benefits to attacking in this game, with your partner in particular, is you get the choice when you attack with your partner to draw or not to draw. And that oftentimes will make attacks that may not seem ideal on the surface, at least potentially solid for you when taken into combination with the way the end of the turn mechanics work, which you will see after we get to the end of this turn. So for the sake of showing you all how battle works, I will proceed to my battle phase.
Alright, so let's talk about battle for a little bit. If you're familiar with Magic, this is actually very similar to Magic with a couple key differences. If you're not familiar with Magic, that's okay. I'll explain it step by step. So, once we enter battle phase, you now have 3 opportunities to activate events or effects from your characters during the battle phase. Those 3 opportunities are before the attack declares the attack, after the attack declares the attack, and after you have chosen to guard or not. The way it works is that turn player has priority. They can activate their effects first. I can then respond. However, unlike Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic, there is no chain or stack system. Meaning, once they activate their effect, it resolves, period. I cannot stop it. Another key thing to note is that in this game you attack the player. You do not attack characters, with a very specific exception to that and a skill called opponent selection, but we're not talking about that. So, let's say for the sake of example that he decides to attack me. I then have the choice of whether to guard with a character, any of my characters, or just to take the damage. While we're talking about damage, let's talk about that for a second. So you essentially win in this game by decking the person out. I mean, I think that's relatively self-explanatory. Once I have 0 cards and I'm either forced into negative cards but through damage, or I'm forced to do my mandatory draw at the beginning of my turn, and I have no cards left in deck, then I lose.
That's a very important distinction because there are many mandatory card draw effects in the game on various characters, on sets, things like that, even on events. But even on a mandatory draw effect on an event like that or a character, you do not lose if you have 0 cards in your deck. The only time when you have to draw a card that you will lose if you can't is at the start of your turn.
Okay. So, let's talk about battle specifically. Battle is relatively straightforward. We compare the attack and defense values of our characters. So if my attack is equal or higher to his defense, his character will die. And vice versa, if his attack is equal or higher to my defense, my character will die. When we get to stuff like Trample, we'll talk about that when we get to it. Same with First Strike. There are other skills, they're not going to be relevant this game. Don't worry about them for now. First Strike and Trample are probably the most relevant skills anyway in the game.
The most common for sure.
What else do you need to know? I think that's it for basics.
I think we can proceed to an actual battle to show.
Actually, there's one other important thing. You can only guard with a character that's standing.
Yes, that might be important.
Unless it specifically says otherwise. Our trial decks do not have cards like that, but that's very important.
Yes. So now I will proceed to battle. I declare my attack. You tap to attack in this game, or rest to attack to use the parlance of the game itself. Now I get to decide I have an optional draw. And that's exactly what it says. Whenever your partner attacks, you can choose whether or not you want to draw a card. I have 6 cards in my hand. The maximum is 7, so I will draw a card.
It's also important to note that this only applies to the partner,
yes.
like Sean says. It does not apply to your friends. Unless the friends say they can do that. So that's a 6/6, right?
It is just a 6/6.
No abilities, nothing.
No abilities whatsoever.
Let me see. Yeah, I'll guard with this.
Okay. Now it's important to talk about what this means now that we have this happen. My character has 6 attack, his character has 6 defense. That means this will die. We then look at his attack. His attack is 7, my character has 6 defense. Both of these characters will die, and now when you die in this game, you go face down. When you have 0 defense, you go face down. There are also various events and effects that will put characters face down. But for now, the most important thing is when you have 0 toughness left on your 0 defense left on your character, they go face down. This is now relevant because I can't attack with anything else. This is rested, I can't attack, and even if I wanted to, it has 0 defense, so I probably shouldn't attack with it.
You mean 0 attack?
0 attack, yes. So, once you're at the end of your turn, you get to heal 1 character. What that means is you get to take a character from face up and put it from face down and put it face up. That does not mean that you get to necessarily put it like to this. It's literally face up and face down, whatever position it's in. Additionally, you get an option for your partner only to rotate the partner 90 degrees. Now, if this, for whatever reason, was both face down and reversed like this, you can turn it 90 degrees, but you can't flip it all the way to here. So, to show that the situation works, flip it face up, and then the partner-only ability lets me return the partner from face-down rest to face-up stand, which means that it can now guard his attack, which is one of the reasons why attacking sometimes early in the game, even if you know your character is going to die, isn't that bad, because you can recover your partner to the point where it can guard.
I also want to note, and I see a lot of people make this mistake when they first play this game, that only applies on your turn. So I cannot heal my character until the end of my turn. So I'm going to begin my turn. I will draw for my turn. My ability activates even when it's face down, so I'm going to draw again. While we're talking about this, I guess I should talk about this anyway. Sets are only active if the character is face up, unless the set specifically says otherwise. That's actually important. Probably not in this game, but it's important to know in general. I'm going to go into main phase. Let's just do... Oh, this is actually kind of crappy. Okay. I'm not sure I would necessarily do this normally. Actually, no, I'm not going to do it yet. So I'm going to play Chia. Her ability is that whenever I take damage outside of battle, I can reduce it by 3. We refer to this as anti-burn. It's more commonly referred to as cushion burn. I guess cushion burn is actually a better terminology, because it's not actually true anti-burn.
To be more precise for what you exactly said, it's when any of your characters take damage outside of battle, not you directly.
That's correct.
There are other cards that let you reduce damage that you would take to yourself.
That is correct. So her other ability is that I can put her from stand to reverse, and I can heal a character, which I'm going to do. Something else I was going to do, but I'm not going to do that.
Now again, just when an effect says heal a character, it means you turn it from face down to face up, regardless of what position it's in. There are certain exceptions to this that we will get to as they come up.
I have 3, 6, actually I have 8 cards. Wow, that sucks. No, it'll let me know. Wow, this sucks. I think I have no choice. Yeah, I don't think I have a choice. Alright, so I'm going to go into my battle phase. Are there any things I can play? Nope. So we've got a very simple battle going on. I'm going to attack with my partner. I'm not going to do optional draw. Now I have penetrate because of my partner's skill. So she is 7/6.
Now I have to decide whether or not I'm going to guard. In this instance, I'm going to choose to guard.
So the way penetrate works is that if my attack is higher than his defense, the difference between my attack and his defense will equal damage to his deck. So there's only a 1 damage differential, so he'll take 1 damage. We both die otherwise, though.
You take damage in this game by taking top cards off the top of your library and putting them into your waiting room.
Okay.
And there is 1 damage.
Yeah, I mean, I'll do 2.
So he's going to swing for 2. Again, I have nothing to guard. This is face down. This is rested. It can't guard, so I take 2 damage.
I was actually hoping you would auto level, but that's okay. So, at the end of my turn, I will heal, rotate.
Yep.
I will also have to discard because I have 8 cards in hand, so I'm going to discard this card, and I will pass.
Okay, it's the start of my turn. Rotate everything 90 degrees. This is already staying, so it doesn't need to be rotated 90 degrees, so I'll draw for turn. Okay. I'm going to rest this. Same effect as before. Look at the top 2. them back on top in this order, and I'm going to draw one. Now I'm going to play a friend. I'm going to play Sayaka. What Sayaka does is the cost for Sayaka to come out is heal one of your Danganronpa characters. Importantly, since this is a cost, it's a mandatory cost as it's worded on the card, which means that if you can't heal a character, if you can't turn a character from face down to face up, you can't actually play this. Heal. Her other ability is that once per turn, when I set a set card to a Danganronpa character, that Danganronpa character gets, my Danganronpa partner, in this case Makoto, gets penetrate until the end of the turn. Now I'm going to play a set. It's going to be very similar to the set that he played last turn. It has no set cost. When you set it, it gives +1 defense, and you get to draw a card. Now, Makoto's ability says that whenever you set something to a Danganronpa character, you get to draw. So I draw once for his effect and once for the set. That's a lot of characters in hand. Now, this is, for the sake of this has penetrate as long as you have a set on it?
Yes.
Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the first event of this game. So we play the event. Events usually will have a cost, or they will be costless. In this case, this event has a cost, which is discard one card from the hand to the waiting room, which I will do. The effect is I get to destroy one set on the board. So I will destroy his set. Now it's also important to note that since I set to this, this now gains, this has penetrate right now. So currently it is a 6-7 penetrate. And now with all of that, my turn is done for the time being, and so but my main phase, should I say, is done for the time being. So now I can proceed to battle phase.
Okay. Outside of new stuff, we can probably play a little bit faster pace now.
Okay. I will swing. 6-7 penetrate. No optional draw.
That's just a 4-4.
This is just a 4-4, yes.
No. I'll guard.
Sure. And this lives, it had 7 toughness. He could only do 6 damage to it.
Right.
I'll swing for 4.
Okay. Since I have nothing to guard with, I have to take 4. I will well. Alright, now, the way this works, if you mill your partner card, specifically your partner, then you negate all further damage, and you automatically heal your character, and put it underneath it as if it leveled up. So now my character is fully healed, it's face up standing, and it's now an 8-8 instead of a 6-6.
Also important is, even if this was tapped to the side or rested, when you heal via an auto level up like that from the partner, it goes up to face up stand.
Yes.
Now I am out of things to do for the turn, and thus I have nothing I can flip face up. I'll stand this, and I will pass my turn.
Okay. Beginning of my turn, I will tap 90 degrees, draw, effect, draw. Before I do that, So I'm going to play Tipo. When he comes into play, I can essentially salvage a set from my waiting room to hand. I'm going to do that. Now I am going to extra. So let me just double check my extra deck for a second. Okay, I don't have any extra set like this. There are essentially two types of extras. There are extras that can extra itself, or there are extras that require 2 or more characters. All the extras in my extra deck, and in most trial decks, require 2 or more characters. In most constructed decks, however, they use extras that only extra itself.
I have one that requires only 1 character, so we may get to that in this game as well.
Okay. So the extra characters that I'm going to use involve these 2 characters. What I need to do is one of them needs to be on the board. They must be on the board. Then to pay the extra cost, I must discard from my hand or send the other copy from, if they're already on the board, to the waiting room. So in this case, I'm going to send this to the waiting room to pay for the cost. This now goes face down. It doesn't actually go face down, we just do that for the sake of convenience.
Should also be noted, extra decks in this game are 10 cards.
Yes. And I bring out my extra. It's also important to note that even if my character was face down, it still counts as the name. So if I bring out the extra on top of it, it goes back to face up. Now, the extra characters do care about the little modifiers that are under attack and defense. So this is actually a 6/5, and extra characters, just like partners, can level up. You level up by discarding a copy of one of the characters on this extra from the hand to the waiting room. That's the only way you can level up.
Something that's important to note is for the sake of the game. Well, actually, we'll wait until it comes up in the game. Hopefully, it will for the sake of the.
Now, some other things to note. This one character will actually count as both of the characters that I just sent. Well, one of the characters I sent to the waiting room. So this actually counts as 2 names. I cannot play another name of one of those 2 names onto the board at this point without killing this. Another thing to note is that even though I have an extra, if I really wanted to, I can extra an extra. I'm not going to go into details about that because that will probably not be relevant, but it is possible.
But not in the same turn. You can only extra once per turn.
Exactly. So what this extra character does is that when it has a set on it, it gains penetrate. And also when it's chosen as the attack character, until the end of battle, it gets +3 attack.
That's pretty good for a trial deck.
That's okay. So I'm going to put this set on it, which lets me draw and gives it +1 attack. I'm going to draw. What does this do? I see what it does. I'm not going to use it. I'm going to play this set onto my partner. This has a cost of discarding a card, which I'm going to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to discard. This is kind of crappy. Discard this card. What this set does is that during my battle phase, I can send this set card to the waiting room, and until the end of the turn, I can target one of my characters and give it +3 attack. I can even use this while my character is face down. This now gains penetrate again. 6, 7. Okay, mediocre board. So I'm going to go into battle phase. Do I have any events? Nah. So I'm going to go into battle phase. I'm going to attack with my partner. I'm not going to do optional draw. It is a 6, 8, 11, 11, 9 with penetrate.
11, 9 with penetrate. I'm going to guard.
Okay.
I'm going to use an ability, use his partner ability, send this to the waiting room, and give a character +3/+3. I will give this +3/+3, so it's 9/9.
So what's going on?
I made this 9/9 by putting this in the waiting room.
And I attacked, right?
Yeah, you would attack. This I did in response to your attack.
Okay. This is, oh, we're just gonna catch up where we left off. So he responded by doing something. He made it 9-9.
By sacrificing the set from arena to waiting room by my partner's effect.
This is still 11-9, so I don't care.
Yeah.
So it's still 11-9 then.
Yeah. Block.
Okay, so you take 2.
Take 2, both die. 1, 2.
I guess I'll swing with this. So I'm going to swing with this. It is a 7-5. With penetrate, not that it matters.
Doesn't it get bigger when it attacks?
Oh, yeah, actually, yeah, 10-5.
So I have no blockers. I can't block it right now even if I wanted to, so I take 10. 1.
It's probably going to level up.
2. Yep. Level up.
End my turn. Heal. Recover. Go ahead.
Draw for turn. I'm going to use this ability. Do you have any anti-burn on board?
No.
Okay. How big is that?
This is a 7-5.
7-5. Yeah, that's... How big is partner?
She is 11-9.
11-9. I'm going to play set. Gives +1 attack. And when I set to a Danganronpa character, I can do 2 damage to a character of my choice, so we'll kill this.
Before you do that, your previous set allows you... Oh, you don't have...
No, I sacrificed it last turn to set the waiting room.
That's right. What does it do again?
It's costless when it comes out. When I set it to a Danganronpa character, I do 2 damage to character, and we'll kill the puffball. Also, because of Sayaka, he gains penetrate, and I get to draw. I will play friend. So when she comes out I get to draw. And basically as an effect I can discard a card from my hand and put her from face up stand to face up reverse and salvage any card from my waiting room. We will see if it is worth doing that right now. Yeah, I think we're going to do that, actually. From stand to reverse. Discard. Salvage anything. I'll get this event. I will play this event. What this event lets me do is I have to discard a card, which we will do. And put a friend of mine from face up to face down. To put one of his friends face down. And I'll put that face down. This goes to the waiting room. Now I will extra.
I'm not sure I agree with that play. You should have burned this then, so you can put that face down.
Yeah, no, you're probably right. But for now, we'll bring out this. It optionally heals on play. And whenever this is chosen as the guard character, I get to draw a card. So right now it is a 5/6. Okay. I'm going to enter battle phase. How big is partner again? I'm sorry. 11-9?
11-9.
11-9. Okay. Going to swing. I'm going to optional draw.
How big?
Right now it is 9-8 penetrate. I'll use ability. Sacrifice set. It'll make it 11-11.
Okay.
They'll trade and you'll take 2. I'll swing for 4.
Okay.
I'll pass.
Tap. Draw from effects. I will. Play Chino. Her cost is to heal a character. I'm going to heal my partner. Her ability is that when there's a set card on this character, all of my characters get +1/+1. It's continuous. And the other ability is partner only, so it doesn't matter. I'm going to play this, which lets me draw. Now everything's also +1/+1. What is this? Oh, I see what this is. Okay. Then I will. It's not what I was hoping would happen. I will now level up. I'm going to level up my extra. Like I said before, the only way to level up an extra is by discarding one of the extra characters on the extra to the waiting room from your hand. I'm going to do that. I'm going to discard. So then this automatically heals. And go to my extra deck. Bring out another copy of it. And put it on top. So now it gets additional modifiers. That's a 5/6.
5/6.
Your partner is just 8/8.
Partner's just 8/8. Yes.
No, it's not going to make a difference. But I'll attack with this. I'm going to attack with this. This is 6, 7, 8, +3 from on attack. That's 11, +1 from this. It's 12. 12, 5, 6, 7. 12, 7, penetrate.
12, 7, penetrate. I'll block, take 4.
Okay. And this dies, right?
Yes.
It's 5-6, right?
5-6, yes.
You have 7 in hand?
Yes.
Whatever. I'll type with this, no draw. This is a 6, 8, 11, 12, 12, 10 penetrate.
12-10 penetrate. First I'll guard and I draw. I'd be taking 6?
Yes.
I'll take 6. When this goes 2, 3. Oh, that's unfortunate.
How many cards left in deck?
11.
I'm going to pass. So I will untap this and I will recover this.
Yeah, I have 8 cards in hand, but since it's not my turn, I don't have to discard anything.
Well, you know what? I'm actually not going to recover this. I'll recover this. Got it.
Turn everything 90 degrees. Draw. I'll play Kyoko. Heal on play. Let's see what I want to heal though. Heal this. Sizes of board?
6, 8, 11, 12, 12, 10.
12, 10.
6, 7, 7, 8, 7. No. Yeah, 8, 7. And this is 3, 2.
Okay. I'm going to play a set. So cost I discard a card.
That's the one that heals, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is. When it's set to my Danganronpa partner, I can heal a character. I also draw, because I set to it.
That's fine, keep drawing.
Yeah, I know. And I get to, and this gets penetrate. Now, since me losing this game is very likely, and I just have the opportunity to do this, we will discuss something, a new element of the game, manually leveling up a partner. If you have a partner in your hand, you can, at any time, level up your partner. If it was face down, during main phase.
Yes.
No matter what position the partner is in, whenever you auto-level up the partner in this way, like if you came from your deck, it will return to face-up stand.
Okay, so he's doing this because he wants the additional modifiers.
Yes. Because I don't have a lot of cards left in deck, and thus my chances of winning are pretty poor. At some point I just have to go all out and try to attack, even though it won't be good enough. No. Yeah, no, why not? I'm going to set to this. Being set to a Danganronpa character, 2 burn damage. I'll go here, why not? Let's kill it. I could have played this turn differently otherwise. Oh well. Leveled up this turn so we can do anything else. I'll play an event. As a cost, I discard 2 cards. I can choose to heal a character, and all of my characters get +3 attack until the end of the turn. Alright, so let me arrange these better. It's time to go go to battle phase. I will not draw, because I'm very low on deck. 6, 8, 10, 11, 14. Alright, so this is going to attack as 14, 13 penetrate.
Are you going to draw?
Yeah, I'm going to draw. I will actually draw, as it turns out.
Alright, so his ability, does it only work, can he only give himself the boost?
No, I can give the boost to anyone.
Anyone, okay. And do you have to take the set off from him, or can it be from anyone?
I believe the set can be from anyone. I can only do it once per turn, though, I think.
Can I see?
Sure.
Yeah, it can be from anyone.
Yep.
Okay, that's fine. So, I'll go with this.
Sure.
Anything?
No.
The reason why I asked him anything is because once he passes his priority, and I decide to pass, he can't do anything.
Yep.
So, I'm actually going to do something. I'm going to play this event. I have to discard a character. Discard this. And then I can target one of his characters and negate all their skills. That penetrate is a skill. So I'm going to negate his penetrate.
Yep.
Okay, I go with that. And then
That
this
dies.
dies.
How big is partner?
6, 8. Well, now it's not getting +1 anymore.
Yeah.
So it's 11, 9.
11, 9. 9, 6. I don't think it actually matters for what it's worth.
That's going to be 7 and that's 3.
Yes.
I'll take 9.
Cards in deck?
16.
Okay, so I can't kill him at this point. Well, I probably couldn't have killed him when the turn started. And since realistically, he's almost guaranteed. Let me count this up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's probably going to kill me no matter what I do this turn. Well, these guys can't actually beat through that anyway, so I'm just going to pass.
Okay, beginning my turn. Untap. Going to draw, then draw from my effects. Let's think about how to play this turn. What's this do again? What? Oh, that's something. I don't worry for that.
It's amazing how much nicer the art in your trial deck is than the art in my trial deck. It shows like the one set in Chaos with bad mediocre art.
That's because even, well, this is for professional art, but even in the anime, the art wasn't that good.
That is true.
So, I'm going to extra by discarding this for the little puffball, T-ball.
That guy's the puffball?
No, this is the extra.
Oh, the 2%. Okay, I was going to say, if that was a single character extra, that'd be a little strange.
So, what this guy does is he has cushion burn up to 3, so I can negate burn damage up to 3. And it's on a per instance thing, by the way. And
You can
with
stack that up to like 3, 6, etc.
Right. when this comes out or levels up, I can look at up to the top 3 cards from my deck, then put them back in any order on top, then draw a card.
Yep.
I can choose to do that, but of course I'm going to draw.
I don't think you should draw.
And that's what I was looking for. Wait, do I want to? Yes, I do. Put these back. Obviously, I'm going to draw top cards. I draw this. Okay, so I'm going to play Megu. She heals. And her other abilities during battle phase, I can discard a card, go from stand to reverse to negate one character's penetrate. And then I'm going to level up. I don't think Sean can win.
I can't win.
This.
I may survive the turn. Well, it depends. Depending on what you do, I can't survive the turn, but I might.
I'm going to play this event. I'm going to discard this to pop a set. Pop that. So your partner without just 10-10, right?
10-10, yep.
What does this say?
I think you're fine, Henry.
No, I can't win this turn, unless it's in his hand. So, I'm going to swing. I will draw. This is a 6, 8, 11, 12, 12, 10 penetrate.
Block.
Okay.
I'll use the ability. Put from stand face up reverse and discard a card to negate one character's penetrate until end of turn. And this is horribly bad.
I assume you can negate this one?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna attack 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 13. 5, 6, 7, 8. 13, 8 penetrate.
Block. Play that. Discard. Anti-pen.
Okay.
I have to draw.
We trade, right?
Yes, they both die.
That's just a 4/4.
Just a 4/4, yeah.
How many cards left in deck?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
6, 6.
Block.
Seven?
Think so?
I was in step then. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. I knew that was gonna happen.
Doesn't matter. You virtually have the game won at this point.
Alright, so I'm going to end my turn and recover this. Go ahead.
Stand. 10 degrees. Draw. No. There will be no passing of turns here. There will be no passing. Level.
I assume you're going to heal.
Yes. Put this from face up stand. Reverse. Discard a card. Salvage.
What can you really do with one card in my hand?
Not a lot. Not a lot at all, but I can at least make it sort of interesting, maybe?
We'll see about that.
I don't think I actually can make it interesting, but I can do something. Look at that.
Okay. Then extra?
Extra, yeah.
Okay.
When she comes out, I get to Rustic Friend.
And she has penetrate, right?
I think it's Penetrate. It's either Penetrate or First Strike.
She should have penetrate. Yeah, she has penetrate.
Alright.
So annoying.
How big is partner?
6, 8, 12, 10.
10. Cards in deck? $12. No draw.
Does that penetrate?
No, it does not.
Okay, I'll guard.
Sure. How big on defense is it again?
It's 10.
That's fine.
Wait, you were 12, right?
Yeah.
This was 12 attack.
12 attack? Yes,
So
12 attack.
okay.
Yeah, 12 attack. That's fine. Actually, hold on. Yeah, no, it's irrelevant at this point because I can't use this effect anymore anyway. Seven?
Sure. Oh, really? Okay.
Cards in deck?
5? Well, I already know what 2 of them are. But okay.
Pretty much. 7?
Come on. Alright, there you are. Level up.
I will partner back up, and though this is rather necessary since he's going to win this turn, I will pass.
Recover board.
Something else that can be noted at this point, unless stated otherwise by the rules, the maximum number of cards of any given kind you can have in a deck is 4.
Yes. Draw from effects.
Which means 4 partners maximum. You can have more of an individual character name, like let's say for Sayaka here, I could have 4 of this particular Sayaka and 4 of a different Sayaka if I wanted. But you can only have 4 of each individual card in the deck.
Play. Discard. I would like to get something on her, but can I afford to play it? No, I can't. What is she extra into?
At this point, you literally just turn your card sideways and you win.
Alright, so this was the last interruption because the game's ending this turn, one way or another.
It should have ended a while ago. I should have conceded, but I want you, the viewers, to get to see what happens when someone runs out of cards. Spoiler alert, they lose!
So, I'm going to extra.
So unnecessary.
it can heal on play. I'm not going to do that. I can also discard a card to draw 2. I'm obviously not going to do that. There's no reason to. I already know what the last card is anyway. I'm going to play this card. I discard 2. And it gives all of my characters that have sets on them +3 attack for the turns. This does not get it, unfortunately. Okay, so whatever. Attack. I'm not going to draw.
You should draw for the fun of it.
Alright.
Yay.
No, actually, I'm not going to draw.
Oh.
In case I don't win.
I don't think it's physically possible.
No,
I have no hand.
I'm being conservative. Attack.
I'm
This
gonna
is 6, 8, 10, 11, 11, 14, 12, 17, 12 penetrate.
Since the super duper high school lucky student hasn't been very lucky this game, I'm going to block, so he goes face down now. And he has penetrate anyway, and so it doesn't matter what happens, because I take more than enough damage. Take 2, I have to take more than that, I have no deck, and therefore I lose the game.
Yay! So that was Chaos. If you guys have any further questions, just let us know. We're probably going to put up a constructed deck match at some point. But for now, that was Chaos by Infinite Stratos. And that's it.